Hi, my name is Fredrik Skåtar. I'm a Swedish architect based in Berlin, Germany, and in 2021 I was an adjunct professor at the Dessau Institute of Architecture, where I led the studio course called Oasis, and I'm now going to show you a selection of architectural proposals made by the students during that course. Aldina Gelai discovered an abandoned brewery in Dessau, Germany, hidden behind the residential blocks built by the GGR. The former brewery site is very close to the city center and can become a qualitative public space. She placed a shallow pond on the unused area, which locals can use to cool down during the summer or ice skating in winter. She also discovered that the brewery's existing pipes and water tanks could be used for operating the pond. For enabling the activity at and around the pond, visitors would need adjacent facilities such as a cafe, toilets, and dressing rooms. So Aldina chose to put these into the brewery ruin and made a design where you can clearly detect what is new and what is old, emphasizing the ruin as a monument of past times. Ultimately, Aldina's project is an urban oasis and a connection between the city's past and present. Maximilian Raab detected a lack of intergenerational contact in Dessau, Germany, and wanted to create a design that could enable people from different age groups to interact. Since he is a skateboarder himself, he had observed how the activity attracts not only practitioners but spectators. So Maximilian decided to design a skate park, and the site he chose for this was quite interesting: the neglected park behind the new Bauhaus Museum in Dessau. The location is not only centrally located, it is this intersection between public space and in the eyes of many locals, seemingly exclusive venue of the Bauhaus exhibitions. Thus, a skate park there could potentially enable a natural interaction between those entities. The design is novel because Max decided to create an innovative skate park incorporating the tracks into the park. That is, in this way, the users would skate through a green area. And to further enable the interaction between users, that is, practitioners and spectators, Max created what he refers to as Bauhütten, a place where users could repair their boards and bikes, assisted by older people with mechanical skills. Or they can also use these Bauhütten for teaching skateboarding tricks or whatever could be needed for the site's users. Sushmita Omkar focused on the problem of homelessness in Berlin, and we labeled the situation as a barrier between the established inhabitants and the non-established. Sushmita's project aimed for enabling these two worlds to meet and thus hopefully tackle the problem. On Alexanderplatz in Berlin, a place where homelessness is clearly visible, she designed various interaction devices that can bring people together and inform about current urban problems. For example, stationary bikes that could generate credits for free foods and beverages. One device contains a reverse vending machine and another includes a story box where people can share their thoughts and experiences. In all, the structure is a place for various and contrasting sentiments, from seriousness to playfulness, indirectly building a connection between established and non-established citizens. Additionally, the device's placement is temporary and can swiftly relocate in a modular manner. Maysam al-Abdullah noticed that the Khan in Sidon, in her native Lebanon, was unused and neglected. A Khan is a shared public space where the inner yard was historically used for trade and gathering. So she aimed to revitalize the Khan, enabling the activities for which it was once built. Soon we realized that we should not touch the fantastic architecture since it's an artifact per se. It's a large-scale ancient jewel that emphasizes the city's identity. But nevertheless, it needs new components to function well in a modern city. So Maisam suggests that the ruin gets a high-tech roof that is clearly distinguishable as an addition, emphasizing the old architecture, putting the old architecture in the foreground. The roof protects the Khan's inner yard from the weather and also provides illumination in the evening. Additionally, she put a new comfortable white pavement on the floor of the inner yard, again clearly an addition as not a conflict with the historic building. Endrit Luri found a small lake a few hundred meters from Dessau's center. It was hidden from view and partly forgotten due to the rough vegetation surrounding it. Endrit argued that having a lake so central is a unique urban quality and started to sketch how it could integrate with the city. We realized that there is a delicate border between the built environment and what can be referred to as a natural, untouched biotope. So how can we keep the latter with help from adding architecture carefully? Endrit gradually created ever more site-specific walkable embankments along the lake. The shapes he made emphasize both themselves as new shapes, as a clear new addition, and their contrasting natural biotope. In this way, he created urban, comfortable walking areas for the citizens, and at the same time, he put nature on display, letting it remain an untouched biotope. Osan Sahin chose to focus on the island of Kinalyada, close to his native Istanbul. He meant that given the city's dense population, the islands around Istanbul have great potentials as residential areas. However, the population there is seasonal, and when the tourists leave, the locals live in deserted towns with fewer economic possibilities. So young people leave, for example. So how could architecture possibly enable people to stay on the island? This question also addresses the depopulation of small towns elsewhere. Olsen started with ideas on turning the island into an art island to attract young creative people from the mainland. But soon we realized that the island and the ocean around it is an art piece itself. Olsen then detected that this quality was hard to perceive because of rough vegetation and the lack of pedestrian roads. Therefore, he proposed creating a path across the island's uninhabited and hard-to-reach areas, partly elevated, partly integrating with existing infrastructure. The path enhances the quality of life on the island and the connection between the built environment and nature, leaving the latter untouched. In his native Karachi in Pakistan, Sarim Ali Javaid was interested in the city's history and places that have maintained the city's identity. The area around the Merweather clock tower was once an upscale popular meeting point during the English colonial era. Now the site is a chaotic web of buses, taxis, power lines and traders. Known to all Karachi's inhabitants, how can this place function better and even enhance the city's identity in a long-term, sustainable way? The discussions on this site and the topic were diverse, quickly excluding architectural gestures such as a new high-tech terminal or a Starchitect Western-style building. Instead, understanding the site's current users was crucial. Sarim soon detected who was the area's main driving force: the hawkers. The hawkers is a sort of clandestine salesman with portable carts of goods ranging from clothes to food. The main problem was their unauthorized activity, and at the same time their very much established role in the city. Everybody uses their services. So Sarim decided to let the clock tower be the background of the new trading activity on the site, and started to sketch how architecture could legitimize the hawkers' existence there. The result is the first step of a transition for accommodating them, since it's hard to know how the hawkers' activities will change over time once given a proper space to use. Sarim's proposal is a light, versatile structure that invites the hawkers to participate in its future development. The style is still a little bit chaotic like the site itself, But as opposed to previously, the proposal is a designed disarray that maintains the current soul of the site but enables it to function much better. Thank you for having listened, and for their contributions to this course, I would like to thank the art historian Valerie van der Velde from the Antwerp Bouwmeester's office, the sociologist Alvise Matozzi at the Politecnico di Torino, and Luc Kinji Xiang from Studio Paula Vigano in Brussels. Thank you.